The hype monster is uncontrollable at this point for Riley Leonard. The Athletic put out their first 2024 mock draft. Riley Leonard is the 9th overall pick to the Rams. Not the 9th quarterback, the 9th overall pick to the Los Angeles Rams. Exactly. Third quarterback off the board, behind only Caleb Williams and Drake Maye.
Yeah.
Who are like the foregone conclusions. The 9th overall. But like, here's the issue I have with it. Not that Riley Leonard's getting love, because matter of fact, I've been somebody that's been talking up Riley Leonard, and I felt I felt like there was some disrespect when he was left off some lists. But Drake Maye, we'll compare the Duke and Carolina quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Drake Maye at Carolina, starting about halfway through last season, everybody, all of the analysts, all the experts, everybody that watches the game made the observation that this guy has pro traits, and he's going to be a pro, and he's going to be a top draft pick. And then after the year, everybody said it's him and following Caleb Williams, and they're going to be top 2, top 3 picks. It's there. Here's Matt Miller of ESPN, their draft expert, comparing Drake Maye to Justin Herbert.
Can't wait to see what he does this year. He's his first year starter last year, and we're putting a comp on him like Justin Herbert. That speaks to how well he played last year, and really a breakout season. 38 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. He's got a strong arm. He's mobile in and out of the pocket. So, yeah, Tampa fans, don't be too mad at us, because I think we just gave you a player that could be a potential top 10 NFL quarterback.
Whoa.
So he mentions Tampa. A little context there. They're using their draft projections, ESPN, based off their football power index, their expectations of who finishes the regular season there. So they have Tampa Bay being the 3rd overall pick in the draft and Drake Maye going there.
Which obviously is, I mean, I never like the comparisons to players that have already panned out. I think that's a little dangerous. But Drake Maye has been in that lane forever. Riley Leonard at the end of last year, nobody would have had in that list. Now everybody seems to be moving him up the list. Well, actually, let's jump to Matt Miller, who we just aired, talking about Riley Leonard shooting up draft boards.
I'm going to go to Duke, where quarterback Riley Leonard and offensive tackle Graham Barton are two players that when I put this mock draft out, I had scouts texting me, like, you got to get those guys in there. Like they have a very, very good chance to rise into that range. Now, Riley Leonard he's not your first guy off the bus. The arm strength isn't amazing, and it's funny that we make this comparison now, but like, if you're looking for someone that can play that Brock Purdy role of like, do what your coach tells you, execute the offense, throw a catchable ball, get to the right spot. Like, that's Riley Leonard. I mean, the touch timing is beautiful.
Riley, first of all, Brock Purdy was the last pick in the draft. Now a Brock Purdy comp gets you to number 9 overall, or first pick shooting up boards, whatever it is. That seems a little backwards. But my point is this. Drake Maye, I'm okay with the hype because it was there based on what he did on the football field in games, right? There was a point when we were all watching Drake Maye on a football field make throws, and we went, that's an NFL throw. That's an NFL player. Riley Leonard, I was, again, as complimentary as anybody of Riley Leonard. But when you watched it, I said, that's a really, really, really good college quarterback that could maybe develop into something that the NFL would be interested in. And he was young enough to do that. I'm not putting a ceiling on him. I'm not putting a cap on it. But every time I turn around now, there's somebody saying Riley Leonard's going to be a first-round pick. Riley Leonard's going to be a surprising first-round pick. And nobody was saying that when we watched him on the field. So I want him to get on the field. That's what I want him to as quickly as possible play a game. He's playing Clemson week 1. If you play well against Clemson's defense, you carve them up, win or lose, right? Because I can't hold it against the quarterback what your defense gives up. But if you look good, if you're efficient, if you carve up Clemson's defense, then I'm like, yeah, let's move them up some boards. All right, that makes sense.
Hey, you put up 35 points, you might lose the game 38-35, but
then you want to have somebody say, oh, look, he's – based on what I just saw, he's a potential top 10 pick. All right, we can agree or disagree, but I won't be upset at your process, how you got there. This is the write-up. in The Athletic. The Athletic put out their first 2024 mock draft. They have Riley Leonard going 9th overall to the Rams. The first sentence of the write-up goes like this. Outside of Williams and May, Leonard is the 2024 QB I'm willing to bet the house on. What? He checks the box on every necessary tool needed to thrive in today's NFL. That seems over the top.
That's a bold statement.
Bet the house on every box. Listen, again, like this is a bit of the Ring of Honor complex where like I'm saying someone should be in the Ring of Honor, but I sound like a bad guy because someone else is arguing that they should be in the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. And I'm going like, no. I'm still being complimentary. Like I'm still saying you should be in the Ring of Honor. I'm still saying you're the top percent of the top percent of the top percent. Like I'm a big Riley Leonard fan. I think he's going to have a big season. I thought he should have been more in consideration for ACC Player of the Year. I thought he should have been in many more conversations this offseason. But he wasn't in those conversations. And he darn sure wasn't in the pro conversations. Now all of a sudden, whoa, I guess one person said it, so now everybody feels okay saying it. Dane Brugler said he's the 28th overall prospect. A couple days later, the Athletic saying he's the 9th overall pick. A couple days later, ESPN saying he's shooting up draft boards and needs to be in first-round mock drafts. And I'm going, he has not played football between any of those things happening. He has not played football in months on a game field. Let the on-field product build the hype. Against Clemson, he can vault up the rankings. Heck, I might vault him up my rankings if he slices and dices up Clemson's defense. But I'm never okay, and it happens in draft season every year, where a quarterback will finish his career and everybody will be worried about something like, oh, he can't throw on the run very well. Then in shorts and a T-shirt at his pro day, he'll run to his left and throw to his right, and everyone's like, never mind, 3rd overall pick.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, well, wait a second.
We'll find the one play he did it in college and show that on repeat.
I'm going, I watched a lot of games, right?
Yeah.
It's I'll equate it to this business, right? The radio business. I'm not a play-by-play guy, so I can speak about this kind of as an outsider.
Okay.
When you look for like a play-by-play job, the listings say like, give me a one complete inning if you're a baseball play-by-play guy. Give me one complete quarter if you're a basketball play-by-play guy, because everyone like has highlights. Right, everybody has the one play, the one home run to win the game where you nailed the landing and had a great call. But it's like, well, what do you do on all of the other plays? Right? Are you good on when it's 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th and somebody grounds into a routine grounder? Right? Are you good there too? Because that matters. And the same is true for quarterbacks, right? Like, if right now you're just watching a highlight film of a quarterback from last year, and you're like, whoa, look at this. He had a 60-yard touchdown run. Oh, my gosh, did you see this? He ran for 100-plus yards against Carolina. Oh, did you see this? He threw for 3 touchdowns against this team. And I'm going like, yeah, but did you watch all of the games? Did you watch the plays in between the touchdowns? Because that matters too. So if you were watching Duke last year, and hopefully you were if you were making opinions publicly about the team, if you were watching Duke last year and you didn't have thoughts of Riley Leonard being a first-round pick, I don't know how you get there now. I hope he does, because I like having first-round picks in the triangle. I hope he, Drake Maye, and Brennan Armstrong go in the first round, and Mitch Griffiths a couple years from now. I want him to hang around. Like I want all of them to be first-round picks. But I'm not just going to say that just to say that. Look at their highlight film, get really excited, and say it. I want them to show it on the football field. That's the only way it's going to work.